Chair calls on the gentlewoman from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses for being troopers. We are in hour 6 of this committee. So thank you for your diligence, persistence, and endurance. But speaking of endurance, our economy needs some endurance, and that can only be provided through a reliable domestic production of energy. So I'm so excited. This is our first hearing, our first topic. It goes without saying, I think, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, we are an energy economy. Everything begins and ends with energy. So I'm excited for all the discussions that we've had today. I am the author of the REINS Act, which seeks to rein in the regulatory environment, which costs our economy $2 trillion a year. You can look no further than the work that is being done at DOE or at FERC or others at where this has been an ever-growing presence. So I'm going to go down the line, if you guys can keep them short, because I do have a follow-up question to all our witnesses, but I'll start with you, Mr. McNally. Give me one regulation that we can take off the books that would help unleash domestic production of energy and bring down costs of energy in America. Just one.
Take off or reform, it would be NEPA. NEPA's the taproot of all the problems. You fix NEPA and you fix a whole lot of things.
Dr. Cohen?
I think we've talked about unleashing some of the clean renewable energy that's tied up, and we need more transmission for that.
What regulation specifically?
I think FERC is doing some rulemaking right now that will look at their regional planning, and I think that improvement will bring a lot of new transmission building to our country.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson, which, by the way, you've had remarkable quotes today. I've actually written a number of them down, so thank you for your testimony today.
Well, I'm going to say, and I don't know if I have the regulation correct, but I would say make reform, the permanent reform, so that we can have more energy production. Doesn't matter how many leases you have, if you can't get the permits, it's useless.
Certainty. Certainty in government. It's a novel concept, I know.
Yes.
I'll also go with NEPA. I think we need to clear out the litigation that's back, that the standards that have been built up, and only you could clear out all that.
Perfect. Thank you. And it goes right back to you, Mr. DeBar. We need to put energy security back at the center of our energy policy, both for our national security, but also for our allies. My question to you is an element of IP theft and China. You were at the Department of Energy during the Thousand Talents program crackdown concerning Chinese researchers gaining access to intellectual property and other sensitive security information. And now you're also involved in a cutting-edge quantum technology exploration. What specifically can we do, should we do, to protect our secrets and other sensitive information from the Chinese Communist Party, and how will this effort benefit our own technological development?
Well, with a spin out of Caltech, that there's a certain member here I think may also have went to earlier, the reality is the Chinese have a vast amount of effort for stealing technologies from national labs that I caught. When I showed up at DOE, there was a significant amount of technology that was being appropriated legally because we had no regulation on the interaction. But also at universities. So when I was at DOE, we rolled out 4 orders to limit that. And I'll give you one example of something that I think should be applied to other areas in addition to DOE, is that we banned grant money, the American taxpayer money, going to university researchers who were also, at the same time, talent program members for the Chinese Communist Party. We said the American taxpayer money should not go to those people who are also working for them.
Seems a little too common sense, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sorry, I cut you off, but to that point, I mean, you have the Thousand Talents program, you have the Confucius Institutes on college campuses. I mean, is there something specifically, a database that we're tracking, or is it simply just not on the books, or has it been done by executive order on the connection between Thousand Talents and issues of national security and programs that we're working on.
Yeah, it's basically been a few agencies that have done it, and that's it. I would recommend that this Congress take a look at the best practices for what's been done at DOE and some others at DOD, because at NSF, at NIST, the Federal Reserve has Chinese
Wow.